Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna assume it's working. Hindi, meron pala dito, ayun. Is that you? I, yes, it is. Alright, good. Okay, so, um, we had this thing earlier this morning. I don't really remember why, but we got into the topic of, um, creativity. If anybody remembers, that would be very useful. I do not remember very well why we got to that topic. But the point was, we were basically, um, ano pinag-usapan natin? I think we were talking about copying, um, and creativity. So, anyway, most of the time, creativity. More specifically, conceptualization. For, tapos na yung upload. Ooh, cool. Mamaya ko na i-upload yung video ng isa. Sorry. Kind of preoccupied. Anyway, creativity and very specifically conceptualization. So, in today's society, you have, everything, especially under very specific companies, which I will not name, is, I want you to read this word. Everybody is very litigious. I'm looking at you, entity, which I will not name. Because they like to pretend that they own the world and they own all the ideas inside it, which is very upsetting to people like you and me, who are smaller people and, just want to enjoy life. Although the amazing thing is, you can't actually copy their stuff, and this is something they won't tell you, but you cannot really copy their stuff. It's almost impossible. Whatever you make is going to go haywire. Don't worry about it. That's another issue for another day. I will probably edit that out. Um, yeah, I should. Anyway, my point is, yes, if I want to, upload this. My point is, a lot of artists suffer from, the problem of, essentially a mental block, which I was kind of going through earlier, because a lot of you are not exactly, 2D artists. Most of you are 3D people, or, just getting into the idea of it, or, in some cases you are 2D artists, but, you draw so radically differently from the way I do, that we might as well not be doing the same thing. The way I do it is not the same as the way you do it. And, most of the time, what people will tell you to do when you're creating, and yes, I told you, I've already discussed this before, so some people might find the discussion familiar. Most of the time, people who are in the business of creating will tell you that you have to gather ideas first. You have to research. So you have to, of course, you have a peg, right? So you have your objective or your task. Let's say a girl, my favorite example, with a dog, right? So this is the peg, or the objective, or the task. So most people will tell you, hi, most people, I know you're there. It's kind of hot. To gather your ideas, to do research online, for example, or in the real, and then to make thumbnails, and then to choose from your thumbnails. Okay, So the reason I can say this is my process. So I'm not really copying anyone. So, nobody can sue me and say, oh, that's our process. Fuck you. No, not really. um, so there is a very big psychological problem with this process if you're not coded visually, like red. Red as a shorthand for artists, right? The red artists, the very passion-driven artists. That's probably the best way to describe that. There is a choose and then refine and then finalize. That's the usual process. Choose, refine, finalize, and somewhere here or somewhere here is somebody checking if that's okay. Right. And yes, advertising. Anyway, so same thing. Not the same, but the same. So the problem with this is largely psychological and has something to do with the way our brains work. Don't. Wait. Something's getting into my eyes. I need to shake it off. Kosher language is very interesting. Yeah. Anyway, sometimes people get a little excited. So the problem with this is that we are very visual creatures, and so when we see something that something in our environment that captures our attention. For example, you have a vase, right? So you have a vase in your immediate environment and it's got flowers on it, let's say. And so now, so it's right there, let's say it's sitting on the corner of your room, right there by the books. Yeah, it's right there. Sorry, it's floating, but it is what it is. No, let's just move that shit. Sorry, that is going to bother me. Yeah. All right, there you go. Okay, so I have a vase in the corner of the room. I do not, but for the sake of argument. And so when you tell me to think of a vase, this only works if you are not what's the word for people who cannot visualize? There's a word for that. The inability to visualize images. Aphantasia. I'm sorry. If you don't have aphantasia, then you should be able to visualize words people tell you, like, yeah, this is a weird discussion. If you don't have aphantasia, then you should be able to visualize words, right? This is the inability to visualize. So as a thought exercise, as an exercise, I want you to close your eyes right now, if you're there and you're listening, and think of a chair. I want you to think of a chair. It can be any chair, whatever chair you're thinking of. Right. Now, I don't require a deep explanation on the chair, but the chair I thought of is something very familiar from Sims, because I was thinking of a blue chair. So I think it's wood. Straightforward unit. This is white and this is blue. This is one of those chairs. And then it morphed into silver, and then it turned red because I was trying to push the image in my head, right? Anyway, but that is because usually when I'm here on this spot, I play Sims. So this is one of the more basic chairs. You use this very early on. Yes, it's the chair's chair, basically. And so if I have this vase right here in this room, and you tell me to think of a vase, I will readily think of this one. Let's say this is a white china, so bone china, sorry, porcelain, and then you've got like, sorry, why am I coloring it black? Anyway, this is porcelain, and then you've got blue floral markings, for example. We're familiar with that, right? So it's that kind of vase. Wow, wala akong ganon. I don't have that. So if you tell me to imagine a vase, the first vase I might think of is this one, because it's right there. It's readily available in front of me. So if I say think of a bed, close your eyes, think of a bed. And the chances are, even if for a very brief period you thought about your bed, what your bed looks like, and then probably morphed into one of those standard beds that you see in hotels or advertisements, which is basically a double bed with a coverlet, right? That's the standard. And the reason for this is something I like to call, yes, I know, we'll get into that, the visual dictionary. And I said I have discussed this before. When we're children, as children, they teach us specific terms, right? Like, well, we learn words, basically. So you would have received a book with this very specific image. Right? Or I'm trying to copy the idea. It's illustrated like that usually. It's a very specific book. No, they're generic. Actually, they're all the same. That's the point. Right? You probably still have that somewhere if you have children. Like, they always look like this. They always look like this. And so this is an oversimplification of the idea of a visual dictionary. So we learn that, oh, this is a ball, this is a sun, this is an apple, this is a banana. But what you don't think about is that as you grow older, you continue adding to your visual dictionary, and it stops being 2D because you interact with these things in the real. And I don't know what age you encountered a real ball. Probably really early, if you're a boy and you have you have cis parents who are very into heteronormative standards. And then you would have realized that a ball has depth, and it's probably either green or orange. You know, it's one of those things. Diba? I'm just gonna make that. It's a certain shade of violet. It's lime green, isn't it? It's like yes, it is that ball. It is the ball, or its brother, which is this shade. I had this when I was a child. Well, no, technically I think it was my brother's, but I was using it, so it doesn't really matter. It was like 5 centimeters wide, 5 centimeters in diameter. So, and then we had a bigger one, which was like maybe 8 inches in diameter. That doesn't matter. But that was the ball. That was the ball's ball again. Like, and we all had that. We all had that ball at one point or another in our lives, and we encountered that, and then we realized that no, the ball doesn't actually look like this. It's not flat. It's got depth. It's got volume. It's even got texture. Right? It's pockmarked. It's got ridges and things. Anyway, and so that becomes your first visual entry of a real ball. This is a real ball. It's not like babies have a different kind of ball. Babies have those cloth things that are like this is red. Tinatamad na ako mag-switch. This is yellow, and this is also red or blue. Ah, yeah. It's usually something like that. So you get like this is red. Yeah, you know what ball I'm talking about. We've all had the same childhood. Yeah, it's the cloth ball, which doesn't. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, so that's your probably your first visual entry under your under the heading of ball. This is a ball, your mama would say. This is a ball, and then you encountered a real ball, air quotes, real ball, which is technically still not a real ball, but you know it's more serious. I mean, it's a ball, but it's not really for sports. It's just mimicking a basketball, but it's like 5 centimeters wide, which is therefore not a real basketball. But that is your first entry under real ball, and eventually you would have gone to school and you would have encountered the real thing, your very first real basketball, and you're gonna marvel. Maybe if you're a guy, you would have encountered it before school. I encountered it in school. I'm sorry. So, and then you're gonna realize there's a heft to it. It's actually substantial. The texture is strange, and it bounces a certain way. Or maybe that's my autistic brain. The point is, you encounter that at some point, right? And you file that under what you call your visual dictionary. Other things that you would have added to this specific visual dictionary would be mountains. And how do we draw a mountain as a child? This is a mountain. And then, because we're not sure we're clear enough, we're going to put a sun. Or is it just me? Right there. and then clouds. Because we're over explaining everything. This is a sun. And then, ay, meron pa. We're gonna put this. Right? I hope I'm not the only one who does that. But that is how it works. Right? And we say that's a mountain. Because our brain simplifies the image of a cone as a mountain. Like it stops. Yes, we simplify or we abstract the idea into a cone, into a triangle. You know, this is a mountain. That's the thing. So when we say ball, we are all going to think inevitably of a very specific ball. This one. I swear. Unless you play volleyball and you have a volleyball inside your room, then you will think of a volleyball. Wait. Anyway. Right? The reason behind that is because, again, it's right there and you have a constant reminder of the ball. So, over time, you build your visual dictionary, right? You try adding more, you add more. So eventually, you know that mountains, at a certain age, you realize that, oh, mountains don't actually look like triangles. They have complications. Right? Or they are oddly shaped. And it stops being so simple. It stops being a triangle. However, even if you are aware that this is a mountain, this is a motherfucking mountain. I'm sorry for my French. I'm very fluent. Even if we say that this is a mountain, yeah, this is a mountain. Yeah. Even if we say that this is a mountain, and ano yan, sun yun, sun. Fucking shit. There will be profanity. I'm sorry. I assume we're all adults. Let's let's pretend you're adults. Okay. Alright. Well, your parents are gonna have to explain a few things. So yeah. Anyway, this is a mountain, and while we are aware that this is a mountain, kinda, sorta, in a very simple, again, still simplistic way, this is a mountain. When I ask you to draw a mountain, you're not gonna draw that. You're not gonna draw that, are you? I mean, if I didn't tell you about this, you wouldn't really think about this. You wouldn't think about that. No, of course not. You're still gonna draw this. This is still gonna be your mountain. At God knows what age you are, this is still gonna be your mountain. Or, you know, ite-taper mo. Because you're like, no, it doesn't really look like that. It's a little more generous. Fuji. Right? That's still gonna be your mountain. It's the mountain's mountain. It's our dictionary entry. Visual dictionary entry for mountain. Because we abstract. We try to remember only the simplest version of a thing. Because we're human. And we don't really need all that clutter in our brain. So if you encounter something, which is actually interesting, because you do remember that yes, it is possible for texture to go like this, or for texture to look like a camouflage pattern. You know, if you've seen that on balls, they're, oh my god, this is so wrong. on toys that are balls. God, that is so wrong. I am not drunk. I'm not red. You're gonna realize that you don't really need to remember this. Most of the time, you don't try, right? Because your visual dictionary is oversimplified most of the time. Okay. However, however, if I tell you, okay, think of a ball that is pink and plastic. Ah, okay, now this changes things. Wait. Now, this changes things. Now we diverge. Because we might not have all encountered the same kind of pink ball. So, without overthinking it, I remember this ball with like cartoon characters on it, which I will not name. And it's made of rubber, and it's like maybe 6 inches wide. There's like princesses on it. That's your hint. And it's made of rubber. May nakakaalala. And it's made of rubber, and it's a certain shade of pink. It's almost purple, actually. It's a very deep kind of pink. Ooh, that's not that close. Okay, this is closer. Right, there you go. This is really, actually, almost purple. The shade of it. Yeah. I'm sure you've encountered. I don't know if I'm not sure if you've encountered that. Maybe. chances are, chances are you've encountered that somewhere, or not. Doesn't matter. And so you may not have encountered that. Maybe you have a slightly more class A life or class B life, and maybe the ball you've encountered is like more dignified. I don't know. It's like it's got a logo on it. It's a fancy logo, and then it's maybe baby pink. Oh yeah, no, some soft shade of pink. Right? Something like that. Sorry, lumagpas na. Yeah, maybe you encountered something. Well, no, I can actually remove that. That's okay. Maybe you encountered something a little more like that, and so our ideas have suddenly diverged from the basic unit of ball. The basic unit of ball. Parang ano yun, periodic table of visual codes. From the basic ball, suddenly, this is no longer the same because you might remember a different ball from the one I'm remembering. Okay, sorry, it's not following instructions. It's not plastic. But anyway, my point is, we will no longer remember the same ball. We will think of different balls. There is no nice way of saying that. I'm so sorry. And this is true. And this is one of the reasons why you have to go out more as an artist, why you have to travel. Why you have to visit different spaces So yeah, sure, visit the museum. That's lovely. The visual dictionary gets enriched by that. Um, you look at like the masters, the classics. You see what is possible for the human, but you should also go outside. Like, go to the beach, go to the park, go to the MRT station and just watch everything. Go to the I don't know what's outside. Let's see. Go to the grocery, really. Go to the top of a building. Don't jump. Just go there. Observe everything. Observe everything. And the more you do that, the richer your visual dictionary becomes. So when you see, like, you've never seen, for example, Indian moccasins. Sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation of that, but like, I'm just gonna type that out so we can. Right. If you've never seen this and you see this for the first time, this will enrich your visual dictionary because suddenly this new thing is an entry. I didn't know they look like that. Right? This is something new. Or let's say you wala really weird shoes. Really weird shoes. Okay, so yeah, this is an interesting search. And now you see things that might enrich your visual dictionary, but you may never use in an entire lifetime because it. Like, why? But that's the point. The point of traveling and observing is understanding that there are more things out there than you are familiar with, especially when you are in a space that is standard, right? Like, unless you live in the mountains, in a very remote area, like surrounded by natives, and very little modern amenities, your life is probably standard. You probably have like a sofa or a bed or a sofa bed, a table, a chair, probably more than one chair, you know, and a computer, a phone, or more. And everything is the same. Everything is the same. So you travel. And then when you travel, you realize that, oh, hey, people live differently than I do. And then you encounter spaces where there are no doors. Instead, they have curtains. Or they're on stilts. And you've got ladders. And the window is basically open, but there's a cover that swings outward. Right, this is the stick. I'm sorry. That's not very obvious. That's the stick. That is that thing. And if you've never encountered that before, this will be an interesting experience because you're going to realize that, oh, hey, not everyone lives in stone houses. I wonder how they stay dry Now, that was my first question when I was a child. I wonder how they stay dry in during the monsoon season, during typhoons. So, yeah, because I was a child. So yeah, right. Anyway, you travel and you observe because you want to see what is available out there. Not necessarily so you can copy, but everything added to your visual dictionary actually widens your skill or your palette, your options, right? If you cook, let's say you cook and you've never tasted anything other than garlic and onion, you might not consider adding oregano, Italian or otherwise, thyme, dill, oh, sorry, somebody's interrupting me. Dill, basil. Yeah, I'm just looking outside so it's easier so I don't have to think. Etc. etc. Mint, etc. etc. Right. So you might not be thinking about, you might not think, oh, bay leaf, yeah, right, or bay leaf. Yeah, you might not think about those. You will not consider adding oregano, thyme, dill, basil, mint, or bay leaf to your dish because you've never tried it. You've never encountered those herbs or spices. So you will keep using garlic and onion until someone presents you with bay leaf. That's impossible because sa Pilipinas, everybody uses bay leaf. But anyway, the example holds. So what is the point of that very long-winded explanation? You as the artist right now in 2024 are probably thinking of how difficult, air quotes, it is to make new things. Now this is a constant gripe because you're like, well, you know, how do I make something new? Everybody's taken everything. Well, the first problem really is that you were trying to speak a language. I assume you're Filipino. I'm gonna assume you're Filipino just for the sake of this discussion. You might not be, but you know, the lesson works regardless. So you're trying to use the language of a different culture. What do I mean? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to draw as a Filipino artist in 2024? Maybe you're drawing a knight. Maybe you're drawing a samurai. Maybe you're drawing a fairy princess. These are common pegs. I'm just making broad assumptions. Maybe you're drawing a Western swordsman that's not a knight. Oh, well, you know, meron ako knight, meron ako samurai. So I'm just gonna turn that into a cowboy. Right. And here's the thing, especially with knights. Let's talk about knights. I like knights. I'm gonna pick up a book. Hang on. I'm trying to see if they are examples. Broad examples. Anyway, I got sorry. I got this Reader's Digest Life in the Age of Chivalry book a while back. So I was trying to see if they have examples of knights in armor. Oy! Yeah. Merong isa. And he's got plate mail and so on. So standard fare. Standard knight fare. But here's the thing. When I tell you, as a Filipino person who is not, you know, taking a masteral degree on on English medieval or British medieval history or culture, kasi pwedeng diverse yung ano eh, yung interest mo. If I tell you to draw a knight, you're gonna give me a very broad definition of a knight. Probably. It's gonna be a big ass armor, right? And then there's gonna be this thing which we don't know what it's called, but you know, we're gonna assume that it's called something. And then we're gonna like bulk that up, unless you do like Ren Fair shit. I'm sorry if you do Ren Fair shit and I'm insulting your intelligence. I don't do Ren Fair shit. I have no idea. So yeah, you got this here probably, right? And then this goes somewhere, so you've probably got, and you're going to realize as I'm doing this, as I'm creating this right now, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Which is why we use references. But here's the thing. Here's the really odd thing. See this part? I don't know what the right size is, and I don't know what my options are. I don't know if like what am I allowed? What is available? And you're gonna say, yeah, that's why we do research. But here's the thing. Bear with me. Ta-da! Hello, teddy bear. Yeah. Anyway, bear with me. So I don't know if this is feasible. If this is, because we've been spoiled by games. I'm sorry, we have been spoiled by games, haven't we? I don't know if this is workable. I don't know if this is ever gonna like happen, if anybody would have ever had anything like this. But we do this. We keep doing this, right? We keep making stuff that looks like this. And I have no idea. I have no idea the right size of this, how far this could go, if we could just, you know, if there's any purpose for the interlock. There probably is. It's probably for movement. So like there's probably supposed to give you freedom of movement. But beyond that, I don't know how long that usually is, how it's spaced, how it's put together. I don't know that. I don't even know how you place this on this. Or do I like are there straps? I assume there's straps. You never see that, right? You don't really see that. So you know there's like a chainmail underneath, but you don't even know if that's accurate. But you assume, you make assumptions. Nah, yeah, in large scale it's something like that. But again, the basic idea remains. I have no idea. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. If I'm gonna do a samurai, anong suot ng samurai? Tangina, ito tayo eh. I'm partly a weeb and I have no idea. You know, I'm just making very broad assumptions about what a samurai wears. And that's the problem. We have almost no visual dictionary when it comes to these things. It's pretty empty. Why? Because we don't see it anywhere. You don't go to the corner, to the street corner and see an armor on display. right? Or you don't really see a lot of images of some of real life samurais on display. So we see them in shows, in movies, but we don't have them in front of us to look at, to um, try to touch and see how the plates align, or the texture, or try to feel the weight, or there are things you will only understand when you see it up close. Like, you're going to realize, I didn't know they had like really tiny ridges here, for example, or they have dents here. I don't know, whatever. And you only understand that when it's there. So as a Filipino person living here in the present, in 2024, in Quezon City, in my case, I have very limited access to these things. So what do? I go to Google. Or whatever browser you have. Whatever search engine you have. And then I'm gonna see this. Edge. What ako edge? Oh, sorry. Okay, well, anyway. And that's roughly the same thing, isn't it? That's the same thing. You could probably do a search right now if you're in front of a computer. Try to see if you pull up the same resource. Ugh, Lord, sorry. Bing. Ayun, medyo nag-iba nung nag-Bing ako. So, iba yung available na options. Okay. But, generally, the point is, see, I don't even know if this is real. Is this realistic? I mean, it's cool, but is it realistic? I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm, like, what are the boundaries of realism in armor? And that is a very specific domain of knowledge that you study. That is something people actually do study. And that is my very long-winded way of explaining why you're having problems coming up with ideas. Because you're going to go to Google, and this is what you're going to see. This. And you don't know. You don't know. Is this feasible? Is this feasible? Is this feasible? Is this feasible? Which of these is feasible? Which of these is workable? Which of these are realistic? Does it matter? When you're talking to a person who knows the culture, when you're trying to show a person who actually knows about the culture, they will spot the errors. they will see the problem, right? They will see the mistakes. So if somebody tries to, let's say there's an Australian an Australian who has just moved to the Philippines in the past 2 months, let's say 2 months, and you try to get this person to describe, Lord, I don't know, Barot Saya, let's say, what are the chances they're going to get it right? They probably know it's, oh, well, they probably don't know it's a skirt and a blouse. Um, but if they have heard of it, they might abstract it to its basic shape, which is, or maybe the type of blouse they encountered is very specific, right? So maybe the type of blouse they encountered had like embroidery of flowers down here. Tapos yung saya is, let's say this was fancier, so they encountered it somewhere, so it's made of silk, threads, interwoven with rough pinya fiber. Labo. So it's fancy with like gold trim. And they're going to think this is a barot saya. This is a standard barot saya. So they might think that's what's normal without understanding that no, actually it's the shape. It's the general it's the general shape, and sometimes it's got other stuff going on. Yeah, right? And the details get lost. And so they might try to abstract it in different ways. So they're going to turn it into, they're going to say, well, those sleeves are too long. We're going to turn that into a tank top, and then we're going to, that skirt is a little too old, so we're going to turn that into a poof. And then we're gonna put embroidery on this that looks like a fleur-de-lis. Yeah, I just butchered that. I know, I don't care. And then we're gonna tighten this bodice, and then and then we're gonna put one of those really poofy arms. And at a certain point, it stopped being a barot saya, hasn't it? This is a barot saya. This is not a barot saya. And it's like that. Pretty much. You got your knight, you got your samurai, you got your fairy princess, you've got your cowboy, and you keep trying to draw these things because this is what you see on TV. You see, or anime, or cartoons, or movies, or whatever. You see knights, you see samurai, you see fairy princess, you see cowboys. And so you think, oh, well, okay, so cowboys look like they wear plaid and a scarf from Red Dead Redemption and a hat and boots with a spur. And that's a very generic image. So, oh yeah, chaps, right? And chaps. But you don't know the nuances. You don't know the finer points. And so you're gonna go, but that's why we Google. And again, I'm gonna bring you back to this, this problem, which is a non-problem. So I give you the instruction of, let's say, drawing a girl with a dog, I'm sorry. And so I don't know why you would do this, but let's say you Google the word girl. And so this is the example. And remember, we were talking earlier about visual cues and how when we have visual cues, we have a tendency to get stuck on them. Yeah, we get stuck on them, like the vase earlier. And so you Google this. Let's say there's 3 of us drawing. And, okay, not a girl. Let's say 3 of us drawing. And none of us are versed in in knight lore. So we Google the word night, and so this is what we see. And so we start off with this, and the chances are we will land in the very general territory of these images. They're probably like gonna have a bucket helmet. Right? They all have bucket helmets. And then the pot-bellied armor. And then the pauldrons. And the chances are, your idea of a night, if this is your Google search, is probably gonna be roughly the same as my idea of a night, unless you decide to forgo Google entirely. Unless you decide to wing it. And if you wing it, you're going to encounter the problem of not enough material. Again, Filipino, we don't see this at the street corner. We don't go to 7-Eleven and see it. We don't go to the hotel and see it. We don't go out to the train station and see it. We don't have enough material. Oh, we're not talking about AI right now, so let AI take care of itself. And this is where what we're working with, right? And so it ends up being like that. And so you hit a very huge road bump when you're conceptualizing a knight, or a samurai, or a fairy princess, or a cowboy. And so you tell yourself, I don't have any ideas. I don't have any new ideas. Nothing in my brain is new. I'm just derivative. I'm copying so many other people. Everything on Google has been seen before. But that is primarily because, again, as I said, you are working with a language, the visual language of a different culture. You are trying to be an air quotes expert in a topic you know nothing about, or nearly nothing about. I'm sorry, you may have actually specialized on this field. I don't know. Chances are low. Chances are low. But never zero. So, so there's your problem, actually, if you really think about it. And we'll change the discussion then. We'll switch it up. Wait, hang on. Let me just. That thing doesn't close. Okay. We'll switch it up. I will now say magtataho. Magtataho. If I say that, go. Close your eyes, visualize a magtataho. And so, because we have encountered taho vendors our entire lives, probably unless you were hiding under a rock, we have a lot of entries filed under magtataho, right? So yeah, there's gonna be that stick, the one that looks like this from the top. It's made of bamboo. And then he's gonna have his arms around it, and then you're gonna have the pendiene. So let's say he's gonna be wearing a, in this example, in this iteration of our magtataho, He's wearing jeans, jorts, which is common, right? So he's got jeans. Sorry, I'm oversimplifying the drawing, but yeah. And then he's got eyeliner na sinelas, yung sipit na blue, yung gano'n. Naka-eyeliner si kuya. And then he's got, let's say, well, he wouldn't wear a sandal because it's too hot. So he's probably got a polo on top of his sandal, let's assume. So your image of this kuya is probably hugely different from my image of this kuya. So, and he's wearing checkered na polo on top. Tapos let's say may logo dito. May because we like to do that. I don't know the label. Malabanan Poso Negro. Right? Tapos meron siyang good morning na towel right here. And then he's got yeah, he's taking shape. And then he's got a hat. Let's say he's got a farmer's hat, the wide brimmed one from the top. It looks like this. The one that looks like an egg from the top, and it's got frayed edges. Bure. Yeah, he's probably got something like that, maybe. Or he's more modern. LA. LA. Or NY. Na hat. So LA na hat. Yeah. And this is a very specific image of, I'm sorry. I know, it's alright. It's a very, nahiya naman ako sa'yo. Wait, let me just adjust that. Right. Anyway, and this is a very general idea of a magtataho, but it is specific to me. Wait. Talaga in-adjust ko siya. Let me just give him a little bit of heft. I'm not very happy with his shape. Okay, so, yeah. Ayan, this is a very specific image of, yeah. Yes, I can draw, but yeah. Anyway, this is a very specific image of a magtataho. And your image of a magtataho is probably not the same. Maybe in your image of a magtataho, he's wearing a t-shirt, a plain white shirt, and blue basketball shorts with gold piping. That was my number, 76, right there. Or he's wearing puruntong, and it's got trees on it, like coconut trees. And stripes of color. Or he's wearing jeans, which is also very likely in this heat. So standard jeans. And even jeans have diversity. So maybe meron siya no frayed jeans. And so the moment I told you to draw a magtataho, you've finally got so many ideas. It stopped being hard, didn't it? Because would you put long socks on this guy? Probably not, because it's really not something you see out in the wild. But you might put a band-aid here, kasi baka nasagatan siya at some point. May maliit siyang band-aid doon. Or baka meron siyang tattoo dito ng dragon or ng alon. Now that's possible. And now you have so many ideas. Now you have so many ideas. And you can justify them. And you can say, oh, well, he's probably thin because, like, he walks a lot, so he would be very lean. He would not be very fat. And he's probably wearing either shorts if it's not too hot, or jeans if it's too hot so it doesn't burn the skin. And the chances are he's using a good morning towel, because a lot of holdover from, like, ages ago. And he's probably a little dark, because it's very hard to walk for that long without, wait, I'm trying to figure out the general shape of this. Sineryoso ko na siya. Okay, the general shape of this. And then it's probably gonna, hindi, meron kasing stick dito. And then it's gonna terminate in this. Right? And now you have so many ideas. The ideas you didn't have for knights and samurai and fairy princesses and cowboys. And now you are teeming with ideas, with possibilities. Thinking about this guy. You don't know. This hypothetical guy selling taho. Baka may patch pa nga yun. May patch pa dito. Maybe it's tatty, it's got a patch. Right? You have a more extensive visual dictionary. Try to think of, let's go back to the idea of a dog with a girl with a dog. Oopsies. Let's go back to the idea of a girl with a dog. So let's say you're in the Philippines, and so your counterpart is in the US, for example. And so this person draws this little girl. So let's say she's wearing one of those dresses. It's a jumpsuit. It's blue. Tapos puffy yung. Yeah. And it's got a ribbon at the back. So yeah. Anyway, I'm simplifying. I'm sorry. I've got people bothering me. Anyway, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And maybe she's got pigtails. This person. And she's got blue eyes. And a small nose. Small button nose. Oop, oop, oop. A small nose. And pink cheeks. Right? And then there's a pocket right here. And there's a flower. And it's got a little apron Yes, this is like a storybook, girl. I don't care. It's mine. So, and then she's wearing socks and Mary Jane's. And then she's got a big generic looking dog, because I don't have a dog in front of me and I don't know what the dog looks like. But it's fluffy and it's got like button eyes, and it's the sweetest thing. Yeah. Right. So I know what is drawing. But my point is, this is your counterpart's drawing or interpretation of a girl with a dog. And you haven't seen that yet because you're not there. But you here will draw the girl with the dog, the girl in question, as a very scrawny girl of, let's say, 5 or 6, and she's wearing a sandal, as they like to, because it's hot. No, black. And she's wearing a sandal. Sorry, the children are annoying. She's wearing a sandal, and let's say she's wearing specific shorts. No, they're kids. It's okay. Don't worry about them. They're fine. She's wearing specific shorts. And then she's wearing yung used na ano. Do you remember that? I don't know if they still have those. Yung bakya na used. It's got multiple stripes. And then you've got this little girl who's got, yeah, ang hirap ng hatak. And there's a sun in front. It's okay. And there's a sun in front. And she's got, in typical Filipino fashion, hair like this. No, it's okay. Don't worry. It's fine. I'm fine. And she's got almond eyes and somewhat brown skin, of course. Kayo manggi, like chocolate, almost chocolate, not quite. And then she's got an ascal. So it's standard pointy. Ears go like that, and you got the shape that goes like this, and it's very scrawny. And now we're gonna compare that. Compare the two. No, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay. And she's very scrawny, as opposed to this very cherubic little girl. Diba? Okay. And so, you're gonna compare the two, and you're going to notice something important. We have diversified. We have created a thing that is immediately recognizable to us, but is not the first choice for someone in the US. And so we bring something new to the table. every illustration or work is a byproduct of multiple things. You've got your experience, so the things, the places you went to, the people you've met, the things you've seen. Your preferences, what you like maybe you like anime, or you like cartoons, or you like graphic novels, etc., etc., etc. And your education, which technically falls under the category of experience, but it's slightly modified. So education has a tendency to broaden our horizons. We are made richer by it. So access to wider range of information. And then you got media, because let's just admit it, we are influenced by media, because all art is a dialogue between the art piece and the consumer or the viewer. You look at the art piece and you react. Ta-da! Oh, a reaction. You might say, oh, I like it. Oh, I hate it. Or meh. Or you might say, did you know that in 1980 something? Yeah, you know. Sudden need to explain things. It's always okay. But all art is a dialogue, no matter what kind of reaction you have, whether it's a like, a hate, or a it's still a reaction. And so, media, even though we're not trying to copy anything, still influences us. So, if you grew up around people watching basketball, for example, you'll have a very sports-oriented visual palette. If you grew up around people watching cartoons, you will remember specific cartoon characters. And that will also influence the way you view media. Or if you belong to a household who doesn't have a television, because either you can't afford it, or you've decided, not to get one because your parents are strange and therefore my kind of people, maybe there's less influence here, but you might have seen print, for example, or installations, or sculptures, or whatever elsewhere. And that's still going to inform your illustration, your work. So your experience, your preferences, your education, your media, the place and the time where you belong. Philippines circa 2024 is not the same as Philippines 1960. And so the visual dictionary is not the same. The tendency to gravitate towards certain ideas is different. Eh lalo pa kung ibang bansa yan. Gawin natin Japan. 1990. O ba, di lalong malayo yan. That's very different. Your experience, your preferences, your education, media, and where you are and when you are informs the body of your work. Which is why you shouldn't throw it out. Who are you? Why? You're going to go into the art field trying to compete with people who know a lot about knights or samurai or fairy princesses or cowboys, because like if you live in Europe, there's a chance that you have a higher incidence. No, actually, it's not a chance. It's really likelier that you have a higher incidence of finding armor someplace old, especially a museum or like a really fancy restaurant, fancy and old restaurant, maybe, or a really old hotel, right? So the chances of you encountering armor in the wild is much higher if you live in Europe. The chances of you encountering samurai outfits is higher if you live in Japan. And the chances of you growing up around the idea of fairy princesses is quite high if you lived in America. Hello, Tinkerbell. Well, technically, she's not a princess, is she? Anyway, same with cowboys. You're going to be competing with people who know their shit. They know knights, they know samurai, they know fairy princesses, they know cowboys, because they're surrounded by literature, they're surrounded by media, they're surrounded by things that inform them. Their experiences are way better than yours. And you're gonna go there and you're gonna tell them, this is a samurai. This is my drawing of a knight. This is my drawing of a cowboy. Yeah. Right. I don't believe in I think there's a lot of room for actually getting inspired by different cultures without really labeling it as cultural appropriation. That's a very American thing, American concept. Because, for example, for Filipinos, we don't care. You wanna wear our Barong Tagalog? You wanna wear our Barot Saya? Please go ahead. Dozo. Wait, different culture. We would say that, right? And we don't care. So we don't feel like it's being culturally appropriated. We feel like, hey, you're interested in our culture, you're welcome to try our stuff. But at the same time, you have to admit that you're probably never going to be an expert on cowboys. Well, okay, that's a very specific statement that's not true. I mean, if you go there and get surrounded by cowboys, you'll probably be an expert in cowboys. But not right now, and not right here. What you do know about is where you are right here, right now. You know your taho vendor. You know your lugawan, your tapsihan. Right? You know your fishbowl vendor and what it looks like generally. You know your dirty ice cream vendor, sorbetes vendor, and what it looks like. The cart, not, I'm not calling the person an it. Sorry. You know what a fiesta looks like in the Philippines because you probably encountered the buntings at one point or another, and you know that this isn't always like red, blue and yellow. Sometimes they're brands. Like may nakalagay Selecta. You know. And you know sometimes it's crepe paper, right? Like it's folded crepe paper, it twists. And then you know that a lot of times there's like Christmas lights. If it's any kind of celebration, it's not enough without Christmas lights. It doesn't matter if it's not Christmas. There's always Christmas lights somewhere. And you this doesn't stop here. This is a very wide range of visual entries. Your visual dictionary is extensive. It just isn't full of knights, samurai, fairy princes, or cowboys. It's full of taho vendors, tapsihans, lugawans, fishbowl vendors, sorbetes vendors, fiestas. Oh, yung binatog guy, the one on a bike, right? He's riding he usually rides a bicycle where I'm from, but I assume that's the same for everybody else. And there's this container at the back. Oh, yung ice buko guy, di ba? The ice buko guy with his yeah. Tapos mayroon siyang dalang ganyan. And there's always pinipig inside, and buko salad, and twin popsies. And they're all off-brand. But you can visualize that. Tapos merong obligatory cheese and chocolate and ube. Gusto naman ang standards. And yeah, right? May pinipig na. This is you can see it. You can see it inside your head. It might not be the same, precisely the same as what I'm thinking of, but you have so many ideas. When I say it's a taho vendor, when I say it's a lugawan, a tapsihan, a fishbowl vendor, a sorbetes vendor, an ice buko vendor, your imagination is like bursting to the scenes. Suddenly, you have ideas. Suddenly, you know that the whole vendor is probably not gonna wear knee-high socks. Kasi mainit. With his slippers, right? He's not gonna do that. He's never gonna do that. It's impossible. And you're gonna know that the lugawan is not likely going is probably going to have like ganito yun eh. Standard na lugawan, di ba? May kaldero dito. May mga kaldero. Tapos meron dito jars ng candy. So, pwede kang bumili. Tapos nandito si ate. And then, at the back, yung little kusina. Like, merong stove. It's the universal lugawan. Like, there is only one lugawan. You go anywhere and it's there. But, tapos merong stick dito. Tapos may benches dito, di ba? Like, so you can sit there. And here at the top, there's a signboard. Aling Nene. Lugawan. Tapos may logo ng I don't know what soft drink or beer. Ay, hindi, soft drink lang yun. Right there. And then sometimes this is lawanit. So you're gonna see that this color is slightly different from this board. Yeah. But now you have ideas. Now your mind is racing. You've got so many ideas. You'd put a garbage can right here. And like maybe a few chairs, monoblock chairs right here. That's an entire concept right there. I mean, it's not fleshed out, but like, tapos meron ka dito yung mga basket, like, ng ramen. Lakay minan dito sa taas. Tapos merong sachets ng kape. Right? Kasi pwede kang bumili ng kape at magpatimpla. It's easier. Minsan may dito. May snaku. Snaku, oishi, nakasabit. Because like maybe you don't want lugaw. Maybe you want snacks instead. Tapos the ubiquitous thermos. May thermos dito yan sa gilid. Kasi magkakape ka. Pwede kang bumili ng kape. Tada! Aling Nene's lugawan. And now you have ideas. And now you can customize that. You can say, well, the roof is made of wood, or the roof is made of hierro. It doesn't matter. You can change it. You can customize it, because every memory we have it's actually different from everyone else's. So we're just playing around with the idea of Aling Nene's lugawan. And you can see that in your mind's eye. This lugawan in more detailed ways than you will ever see a knight, a samurai, a fairy princess, and a cowboy. And this is what people actually want to see. I'm sorry, but I am of the general opinion that this is actually what people want to see. And this is also what we are trying to hide. Because we don't like showing dirty stuff. Nakakahiya eh. Nilabas mo pa yung baho. So, yeah. But this is what they want to see. Why? Because they've seen knights, and they know that the knight you're presenting is nowhere near as good as anything they're ever going to show. You're not bringing anything new to the table. When you bring your samurai, you bring your fairy princess, you bring your cowboys, but anything you make is probably going to be a pale imitation of the shit they make. And you don't have enough visual entries for knights, samurai, fairy princesses. and cowboys. And so you are at a disadvantage in that situation. But, maglaban tayo sa lugawan, sa tapsihan, sa fishball vendor, sa sorbetes vendor, sa ice buko, sa binatog. And, the details are gonna fly, right? You've got, mayroon dyan, may poste dyan, sa gilid. Tapos may jumper, so ang daming cable. Tapos meron dito tapos dito sa tabi, merong malaking basurahan na hindi na-empty, so medyo kadiri. Diba? Tapos dito merong sabihin natin, merong monoblock. Ay, shucks. Sorry. But, sabihin natin dito, merong monoblock kasi merong dyan may barker. May barker. Yeah. Ganyan yung monoblock. So, nakasandal siya dyan. Pero hindi occupied yung monoblock kasi bawal umupo eh. Baka mahuli ka. Tapos, nandito yung sakayan sa may kanto. So, papunta dun yung kalye. Anyway, the point is, it keeps growing. It's the story that just keeps growing because you have so much experience with the topic. You have so many stories inside you that aren't knights, samurai, fairy princesses, or cowboys. Tapos may basura pa dito. Yuck! May black bag. And suddenly, you don't have mental block. Suddenly, you have ideas. So many ideas. May puno dito sa gilid. Tapos dito sa likod, may Jollibee. Ay, may Jollibee sa likod. Diba? May Jollibee dyan sa likod. Tapos nandito si Jollibee. Tapos nandito yung daan. Tapos ito lang to. Salamin lang. Yeah. That's where the ideas are. The ideas are where you are. This is what you bring to the table. This is what you bring to the table. The weird shit. Because you're gonna say, yeah, but they have urban poor in like the US. Yes, but it's not really the same, is it? Their banquete is not the same. Their monoblocks are not the same. It's not really the same. It's never gonna be the same because it's a different place. Everything's gonna be different. That is why you are having issues making things. Because you are using an identity, a language that isn't really you. You're trying to make knights when you're not a person who knows anything about knights or enough about knights. Yes, I also watched Lord of the Rings. I also watched Game of Thrones. Well, only up to season 3. I'm sorry. Among other things, right? And that doesn't make me an expert. I also played KCD. Doesn't make me an expert in knights and Lotro. I know jack shit about knights. Can't really say I know enough. But ask me to detail a lugawan and we could do that all day. Or a sorbetes vendor, right? You could do that all day because you have so much knowledge, you have so much information inside your brain formed over the span of I don't know how many decades you've been alive. 4, 3, 2, 5, 6. I don't know. Yeah. So much information, and you just really need to tap into it. I mean, sure, you can still Google nights, but that's never going to be the same amount of detail. That's why. That's the thing. Well, that is the discussion. So, thank you for wasting your time.